came to Randy and Ruth's farm for a healing festival without really knowing what would happen, except that we'd have to organise it ourselves. We came to be together, to grow together, and to learn from one another. We came to understand that we could help each other become more complete persons by each offering his gift and receiving with trust, experiencing the oneness that unites us all by joining together in a circle, all facing one another, joining hands, conveying energy to all. We become sensitive to this power, a power to heal that rests in the spirit of every single one of us. The Healing Festival is a time when personal modalities like yoga and Tai Chi and sharing modalities like massage and group modalities like dance awareness and the healing circle are there for those that want to develop their awareness and their energy. We can be teacher or learner. There are no roles. Every day, people who offer an activity write a time and a place on a blackboard. In this self-organising way, we experience each other's gifts, caring for others, giving our energy to them, trusting in another person's perception of their own state, allowing that person to unlock deep emotional and physical tensions in our bodies. It happens in the healing circle. We place ourselves in the hands of our brothers and sisters, and their touch in an area of muscular tension allows repressed emotions to well up to the surface. First light, we awake to the sound of flutes, and in silence do a few morning rituals, awakening our energy with yoga and meditation before sunrise marks the movement meditational group with Tai Chi breathing. The elements sun, air, water, earth touch our senses, and we become aware. The stream and the sauna provide informal spaces for our leisure. And so, for the 5 days of festival, we each set our own direction on the pathways to wholeness, each finding a oneness with our brothers and sisters, and in their pain and problems, their wisdom and pleasure, we find ourselves. And as we open to one another, energy flows, and the pain of the past locked within our minds and bodies is released, and we become humans being once more.
G'day Dad, what do you got cooking up here, mate?
Oh, just getting stuck into doing some bird uproot.
Oh yeah?
It's a wonderful blood cleanser, this one. This morning I've just been soaking it. Start off with the roots, and from the roots I make a herbal medicine. In these cans, the herb soaks for about 4 weeks in a percentage of alcohol and water. We get the alcohol up here in big drums. These big drums. We've been doing these herbs lately on this chart over the last few weeks. We do quite a variety of roots, barks, flowers, leaves. Over here's the second process. We're doing peppermint here. This is the percolator, it's a filtering machine. The peppermint sits in here and filters out into a nice clear fluid that then is ready for distillation, which is the next stage in the herbal process. Let's take the peppermint into the laboratory and we'll put it into the stills. Okay, let's fill the flask. And then we can put the stills on. The herbs go into the stills so they can be concentrated and then standardised so they can be used by all natural therapeutics. Thanks, Melanie. This is my wife, Melanie. She helps run the show here. Have to lift it out just a little bit, though. Just needs to heat up now. After the filtering process, the peppermint's put into this top aspirator and it's run on down into the flask where it gets more and more concentrated. The alcohol and the water come off as a vapour and are condensed through this coil, and they are later recovered for use. And the extract gets stronger and stronger in the flask till it's standardised. Worked pretty well for us up here this year. It's been our first year on trying to operate in a self-sufficient basis. We've done about 100 different extracts this year for large companies that use them in tablet making and herbal medicinal compounds. A big project for next year is growing the herbs that we use. And we've found that anybody wanting to operate on a self-sufficient basis, growing herbs is now profitable. We can definitely sell any herbs that are grown. Any people who want to contact us, any information, can write to me, David Dane, Nature Spirit, PO Box 85, Byron Bay. I'm happy to give any information. This is something that we all have to do together. We can make it work. People are saying that they'll buy our products. We just have to get it on and do it.
situation here is that about 50 people have come together to see directly into themselves over a 10-day period. The students begin at 4:30 in the morning, work through until after 9 in the evening, and it is a period of 10 days of silence, 10 days in which each person is with themselves. The purpose of this retreat and the way it is conducted is in order that the individual has greater sensitivity to themselves and to the whole field and dynamics of existence. The emphasis is placed on awareness. Awareness is the essential feature and characteristic of this retreat. The student witnesses how the body and the forces and sensations of the body influence the mind, and too how the mind has its influence upon the body. And the meditations are conducted in order that one sees very clearly into this relationship. In the sitting meditation, the student begins by placing his or her attention on the in-breath and the out-breath. The breath is made long and deep to enable the student to cut through the noisy, chattering mind in order to reach a greater state of clarity of perception. The standing posture, the student stands still and upright for about a 45-minute period. The attention is placed on the feet's contact with the ground and maintained at the moment-to-moment level. So we have here what one might describe as three main types of people who are engaged in this retreat. The first type is one who has already grown and developed in terms of the spiritual way of life, in terms of maturity and development. This type of person has both an understanding and practical wisdom in their life. There is the second type, and the majority of people here who are genuinely interested in meditation, interested in self-inquiry and finding out about what life is all about. And we have the third category, similar to the others, but these people are having enormous trouble in terms of their own existence. People who live in fear and agitation. And these meditations and the practices which we are engaging in here are for the welfare and benefit of all those three types of people that I have made reference to. In the walking meditation, the student walks very, very slowly and mindfully, being fully conscious of the foot as it leaves the ground, moves through the air and touches the ground. In the dance or free expression meditation, the student is fully aware of each and every movement of the body. The student is in contact with the movement of the head, the arms, the trunk and the legs, being very much aware of the body expressing itself in existence. The meditations are based on practices, methods and techniques which have been employed in the East for many, many centuries. The purpose of these meditations is to see very directly, in a very immediate way, into the body-mind process, to understand how the body, the state of the body, the feelings, the forces in the body influence the mind.
So in this talk this evening, we have just been looking just very briefly at some aspects of creativity in terms of the necessity of cutting through the blocks and tensions of the mind to allow this channel of energy and flow to take place in order that one can be in touch with the creativity which is the very characteristic, the very nature of the universe. May all beings seeing to themselves. May all beings develop in terms of creativity.
One of the easiest methods of collecting solar energy, particularly if you're after some sort of domestic application, is with a flat plate absorber panel. These panels I've designed for fairly easy construction with sort of home workshop tools, just a basic power drill, tin snips, soldering torch. The materials for the panels can be bought through any hardware shop, just department store. The cost of the materials ranges from about $45 in capital cities to about $75 in, say, country areas where you've got additional